All right, everybody, welcome into another What Sold video. My name is Bob. I'm the Rocket City Reseller, and this is actually a post-edit entry into this video. We started this as doing a 24-hour video, and then all the wheels fell off, and we ended up getting even more sales. So we just combined them into two. And part of the reason for that is it's Snowmageddon. The deep south here has been hit by absolute ice, rain, sleet, snow, you name it. We have gotten it this weekend. So part of that was the post office. We couldn't get there on Saturday. So we actually had to push our shipping through Sunday into Monday. And with that, comes handling times and things of that nature. But anyways, for the most part, we did it really well. This Sunday, the evening's still not over. Right now we are at $896.43 sold, and $159 of that is courtesy of Nifty doing its job relisting. And can't say enough about Nifty.ai. Code Rocket City will save you 15 if you're interested in trying it. And also that's 18% of our sales. So, I mean, it has paid for itself now, I believe. That'll put us at about 7 months. So the first month of the year has not paid for it for 6 months, 7 months of the year. So it's definitely doing its job, definitely worth the money. And let's get into the video and see what's sold. Okay, right off the bat, we have one logistical issue we need to talk through. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales that are all out in the shed. Like I mentioned, it did ice and snow, and it's extremely cold outside right now. I think it's like, I want to say 9 degrees outside, and everything's iced up. So we're definitely not going to do that until tomorrow at some point. But I just wanted to talk about those, and I'll put some sold comps and also pictures here. We have a Kelly Baby blue teddy bear rattle that sold, and it sold for $13.60 on eBay in 6 months. Link here. Eden Baby Paddington Bear with embroidered coat and eyes sold for $29 in 6 months on Etsy. Link here. That's not a bad sale. Vintage Eden Green Frog with yellow checkered bow sold on Mercari for $46.48. Great sale. Link here. There was a soft and cuddly weighted sloth that sold on eBay in 6 months for $20.62. And link here. And last but not least, we have a Plush Paradise Food Friends key lime pie sold for $18.63 in 7 months on eBay. Thank you. So Plush does sell, and it does sell well. All right, we're going to go back to the video and start getting some stuff pulled. Alrighty, I am back and dropping stuff like usual. If you guys aren't familiar with me, you probably know by now. I show you both the good, the bad, the indifferent, and reselling. And part of the reason why the channel's not growing as fast is because I'm being honest with you guys. So if you like that type of thing, you want honesty, you don't like sugarcoating, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe these videos, because I will tell you exactly what goes into it, exactly what you're getting yourself into. And why I bring that up is because we're here, my nemesis, the box area. We've talked about it before. I have done some work. If you guys haven't noticed, if you are new here and you've been following along, we put a lot of stuff away, got some organization going on. My wife has finished inventory. So she has gone through 336 105 quart totes in 13 days for an average total of 25 totes a day in inventory. She has put her hands on every plush in the system in 13 days. Yes, you heard me right, 13 days. So make sure you're following along if you like that inventory videos. We have one right now that is in the channel, so go ahead and take a look at that if you like some tips and tricks, and also to see me fumble around with inventory if you're into that type of thing. It's definitely a must-see. All right, but anyways, I know I was going to say back to the plushie pulls, but I just wanted to, since we're in this area, talk about what's been going on behind the scenes. All right, back to it. All right, we are back, and we're looking for a Coles Cares Clifford, I believe. Let's see, Scholastic. That's what it was, Scholastic Clifford. There he is, big red dog. So Here's Scholastic Clifford. It is vintage, and let's see how much he sold for. He sold for $24 in 6 months on Etsy. I will say anything Clifford or Friends. Some of them are a little bit more hard to find, like T-Bone, and I think it's Chloe maybe. Correct me in the comments if I was wrong on the team there, but if you can find them all and put them together, we've had sales upwards of $103. And if I could find that sale, I'll go ahead and pop it here for y'all to see what I'm talking about. And they could be cold scares. It's okay. They will sell, and they will sell well, and they will sell fast. Just like this little man. He's off to his new home, and I hope they enjoy him as much as we did. On to the next one. Okay, here we go. We're back, and we're actually in this new area. We just actually rearranged some stuff. If you like that type of thing, we actually have a video of us rearranging these, so go ahead and check that out. But this is the links that we're looking for. It is Bass Pro Shop, Wildlife Artists, and we've had sold these before. And I believe I mentioned that we are actually from Connecticut originally, where they actually design wildlife artists, and Bass Pro Shop is really big up there as well. So this particular plush sold for $13.60 in 6 months on eBay, and he's off to his new home. Super cute, super soft, really nice quality. I can't say enough about Bass Pro Shop. And also, there are a lot of bolos on the Bass Pro Shop line. So when you're seeing that along the way, make sure you're checking the comps on them. And if you have a little bit of patience and time and storage, you can make a pretty good penny. So on to the next. All right, we are back, and the next one is a Kohl's Cares How to Catch a Yeti. And if I'm not mistaken, you put them in a 105 quart tote. Oh no, that's not how. Just kidding. There is a book series that this person couldn't live without. And what's great about this Kohl's Cares Yeti is the cuteness factor, and also that we have two. So we always pick up Kohl's Cares. If you can't tell, there's the other one right here, another Yeti. And then we have Piggy and Gerald, and this red dinosaur guy, and also Lorex. So Kohl's Cares does sell, and it does sell well for us. So make sure you're picking up your Kohl's Cares. It can sell well. And this one sold for $15.30 in 6 months and sold on eBay. So yeah, Kohl's Cares. Go figure. Back, and let's see what we got here. We got a Disney Baby's Princess Anna doll. It's sold on Posh for $11. So the thing about Poshmark is anything under $20, there's an automatic fee of $2.95. I believe it still is. Might have went up, but since last checking, that's what it was. So whenever you're listing stuff on Poshmark, just take that into consideration. You can sell more than clothes there. Obviously, we sell plush, but it's something that we factor in when we're doing our cost of goods. Just kind of a tip and trick, maybe. Just know that anything under that is automatic flat, $2.95. Above 20, I believe it gets into percentages, and I want to say that's 20%. Don't hold me to that, though. I should probably know better. I've been doing this long enough, but anyways, the point of this story is basically got to make sure your costs that you're factoring that stuff in. We get stuff at such a low value. Sometimes we buy bulk bundles, and the cost of goods is almost like a nickel, dime sometimes. So I try not to sweat those details because our costs are so low. But when your margins get a little thinner, sometimes you got to really lock in. I probably would be a bit better about that, I suppose, if I were paying a little bit more for items. So I have the luxury of kind of being a little bit squishy around the numbers when it comes to that type of thing. But I do know that the return on investment, even at $11, is really, really great for us. And bread and butter keeps the lights on, is what they call bread and butter. Is anything, in our opinion, anything from $8 to $20. Anything from 25 and up, I would say, is a better sale for plush. So we sell a lot of it. We sell at volume, and we move a lot of product. That's how we do it. Every model is different. Every person's business is different. So there's no wrong or right way to do it as long as you're profitable doing it. So we'll go ahead and get back to the video. I just wanted to kind of stop it and say that. And we'll go ahead and get that Disney Baby Anna doll out, and we'll take a look at her. All right, here's Anna. She's not the only one frozen out here. Boy, it's cold. In Alabama right now. Snowmageddon. If you didn't catch the intro, it is absolutely frigid out here in this garage. And so Anna sold for $11, as we recall from our previous conversation. And she didn't take, well, I mean, 6 months for plush is not bad. Okay, so I know that's everybody's like sell-through rate. You got a point. I'm not saying you don't, but you have the storage, you have the time, you have the patience, and the willingness to do so. You can sell 30 items a day. That took 6 months. Does that make sense? Hopefully. While you're looking for the $100 item, in those 6 months to sell, in 3 days, I've already sold 1,000 items. That took 6 months. You get the drift. That's my logic, anyways. I love those kind of conversations. So feel free to come in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. But anyways, this one is, going off to its new home. Sold on Poshmark, more than clothes, remember. And I know there's going to be those that come in and say your time, the cost of storage and all that other stuff. You got to remember, we're getting this stuff for like a nickel. So just keep that in mind when you're going to come for me in the comments. But we really need to stop what we're doing because I'm about to ruin the plush and the toys that you're used to. That sounded like a song. Let's talk about Snuffles. Okay, first of all, Snuffles is something you want to be looking for. This one is super soft. It is a gunned line of plush. Look how massive this guy is. Anyways, the reason why I mention him is, first of all, he's a bolo. Look how big he is. I'm not sure what the comps are on this guy. Off the top of my head, I would have to look. But since we're in here and we're looking for this petting zoo large brown curly bear, I figured, hey, why not talk about Snuffles? So let's see if we can find that curly bear. All right. This curly bear by Petting Zoo sold in, let's see if we can see here. We sold for $29. So he was a pretty good sale. And again, sold on Poshmark in 6 months. Poshmark has been really showing up for us lately. And part of our inventory process for Poshmark, when we first imported from Vendu, is to try to find the disparities, because there's a lot of junk that came over with Vendu. And when I say junk, I mean items that are not currently in our eBay store. Approximately 1,600 listings. How I discovered that was there was a disparity between what was listed on eBay and what was listed on Poshmark, and the difference between the two. So during our inventory process, we made sure everything was here, made sure it was on eBay. That's our source of truth. How we're going to mitigate that is I'm going to take everything down from Poshmark, everything down from Mercari, because those both have disparity. So that being said, I'm going to remove them from Nifty. Okay. Now remember, eBay and Etsy are still okay. Everything's tracking fine there. Then I'm going to go ahead and resync Nifty with eBay. Okay, so that's the disparity now closed because there's like 130 items that are off there. And I think that's a little bit has to do with eBay's process in relisting the items on their side, because every 30 days they renew your listing. And this is proof that that's happening. I know other resellers have always thought of it, that was going on, but this is actually proof that that is in fact happening. So we're going to go ahead and do a sync, make sure that our Nifty and our eBay are together and there's no gap in that record. Then from there, I know it's a lot, right? So then from there, we're going to go ahead and start cross-listing back to Poshmark and Mercari. Arduous, I know. But once it's done, it'll be pristine and our sales will increase even more. So because we have touched every item and we have cross-listed every item. So I'm looking forward to seeing a boom in the process as we go through that. Be interesting to see. So if you're a data nerd like me, remember I'm a software engineer. So if I've gone well above your understanding, don't worry. We're going to break it down as we go along. So if you're into that type of thing, you want to learn more, follow along. Don't forget, like and subscribe. All right. And as you can tell, there's a lot of disparity between the totes. They're not all the same height, if you recall from other videos. And part of the reason why that is because during the inventory process, we condensed a lot of items, similar items, into other totes to free up free totes for more inventory. And we'll hopefully show you a picture or snapshot of that here. I know, it's a lot. We'll get you in the post edit. But anyways, I'll show you what that looks like, and you'll be amazed at the stuff we're finding when we're out thrifting. You want to follow along with those videos? Check out my Goodwill Outlet Bin videos and also my Thrift With Us videos. You're definitely going to see some incredible finds along the way, and we appreciate you following along. Let's get that next item. All right, so this Folkmanis dog puppet sold for $38 on Poshmark in 6 months, and this thing is huge. Here it is right here. Not in the best condition in the world, but the buyer didn't seem to mind. And yeah, Folkmanis is a really sought after puppet brand. So if you're not tracking Folkmanis, make sure you check that out. It can be a bolo depending on which one you get. So just kind of be seeking that as you go along, and see if we can take a look at that tag so you can get an idea of what Folkmanis looks like. So there you go. Hopefully you can see that the light's not the greatest in here, and I apologize. But let's see, Folkmanis, there it is. So Folkmanis puppets, it's a bolo. And we'll get this guy to his new home, and we'll move on to the next one. In sidebar, I know they got a lot. Sorry about that. I got the ADAD, DD, HD, TV. I don't know. Anyways, so basically, this paper is from Dollar General. I feel like I have an ancient manuscript because it's so very thin. I'm surprised my printer even printed on this stuff. But the reason why that is this, again, Snowmageddon, and our options were limited, and we were out of paper. So there you go. So I'm going to take this ancient paper and artifact and keep it moving. Looking for our Kohl's Cares, Mo Williams, Gerald, and Piggy. We were just talking about that, but this one's in 251, so more to come on that. So we have multiples, y'all. Again, Kohl's Cares. Who knew? Alrighty then, we are back with that Kohl's Cares Mo Williams, Gerald, and Piggy plush, sold for $45 in 6+ months on Etsy. And like I mentioned, it's very sought after. So Kohl's Cares, and sells well. And you saw the last tote, if you recall, there was like 2 or 3 of them in there, bundled up. So be on the lookout for Kohl's Cares, Gerald and Piggy specifically. It's a bolo. All right, and the hits keep coming. Another Kohl's Cares. I should call this video "Who Cares? Kohl's Cares," because this guy is gonna put my 17-year-old through college. So that's happening in the fall. Look forward to. It's an exciting time of life for him and for us. Empty nesters, let's go. So Kohl's Cares Goodnight Little One Donkey Plush sold for $19 in 6 months on eBay. And yeah, what can I say? There's probably a few more on this list. So who cares? Kohl's Cares, and I do, because they're putting that money in my bank account. On to the next one, guys. Keep a lookout on Kohl's Cares. All right, and just like that, we are done in the garage. We're going to go ahead and head over to the sunroom. If you're not familiar with that area, we're going to show you a few things in there. Again, 336 totes in 13 days inventoried. And that's an average of, I think, 25, 26 totes by my wife solely. And it really did increase our sales, y'all. So being intentional on the slow times can do a lot of things. One, get your act together, proverbial act together. Not calling anybody out, but I'm just saying it can help you stay organized, keep your inventory robust, keep your algorithm stimulated, for the lack of a better word, because we proved another $650 in sales in a 24-hour period, because we were looking pretty dismal on Saturday, if you recall the entry of the video that we did. And this is a PPS, I guess, or maybe a post edit to that. But maybe I'll slice them together so you can see both intros, but that's kind of interesting to look at. Anyways, so we're going to move on to the sunroom and get this guy going, and we'll catch you back on there. Okay, here she is, Spidey and his amazing friends, Ghost Spider, Miles Morales plush. Guessing Spider-Gwen is actually what should have been in there, but yeah. So it sold regardless, and it sold for $21 in 6 months on Poshmark. Again, Poshmark coming in clutch, helping us stay ahead of our sales goals. And I can't say enough about Poshmark and Nifty.ai, sharing our closet, relisting items, following other closets, stuff like that. Really has increased our sales over the last 3 months, specifically, and all over the course of the time we've been using Nifty. But we have seen quite a significant difference in sales. So that's my plug again for Nifty.ai. You don't have to use code Rocket City, but if you like saving money and you like making money, seems like a slam dunk to me. All right, Spidey Gwen, you're off to your new home. It looks like I jumped the gun a little bit. I forgot 303 and 305 are actually out here in the garage. 303, we're looking for a glowworm. And yeah, that guy sold for $25 in 6 months on Etsy. So we'll go ahead and get that out and see if I can do this without hurting myself or hurting a plushie. There we go. Break it. Hey. So I know what you're thinking. Like, there's got to be a better way to do that, Bob. But we are limited to the space that we have available to us. So we're looking for a glowworm. And here it is. It is vintage. There is some minor, well, I guess not really. It's pretty good shape. I was going to say there's minor issues to the eyes because there normally is. Some gentle playwear on here. Does work. We have tested it. And that glowworm looks like it sold for $25 on Etsy, as mentioned, in 6 months. Let's go. You're off to your new home, buddy. You're going to light up someone's life for sure. I got all kinds of dad jokes. All right, here we are with vintage 1999 TY Beanie Buddies. Lizzie the tie-dyed lizard plush. Sold for $23 in 6 months on Etsy. And this one's pretty pristine in the taggage. Let me just tell you, this one was sitting for a while, guys. And part of the reason why it sold was, again, inventory. Reinvigorating the algorithm, getting this back up in front of someone's eyes. And the condition is exceptional. So someone can live without it. It's going off to its new home. And yeah, can't say enough about TY Beanie Buddies. It's a tracking, I wouldn't say viral, but it is trending on eBay. The word beanie. I'm not saying Beanie Babies. They'll come for me. But Beanie Buddies, be on the lookout. They're a bit bigger, I would say. All right, on to the next one. We probably should talk about the elephant in the room. Not that one. That's Tantar. The amount of plush in here. So this is holdover. So the next phase of the project is to get all of these items have been washed, cleaned, and sanitized, photographed, and then also listed. And if you thought my wife was fast with inventory, boy, have you never seen her take a photograph. She is going to get this done and got to get done quick. If you want to guess on how long that's going to take her, let me know in the comments. This is only partial of what we have. There's another area that I took a photograph of that I'm going to put here. Boom. Check that out. So I'd like to know what your guess is. Maybe we'll have a contest on my Facebook page, Rocket City Reseller on Facebook. Check it out. Follow along on the journey, and we're going to see how long it takes my wife to photograph all these items. All right, so this next one was a really great sale on Etsy for $45. It's a vintage 1988 Babar the Elephant plush. And we actually, you won't believe this one, we paid 25 cents for this plush. So, there he is. Again, 45, so 25 cents into $45. And this one's going overseas, actually. So, and again, Etsy. So we just recently unlocked international shipping. So if you're nervous about doing that on Etsy, I want to encourage you, make sure that you unlock international sales or shipping rather. And make sure you weigh your stuff too, because that can bite you on the ankle if you're not careful. But I just want to encourage you to do that because we have seen a tremendous increase in this. When I say it's almost beating eBay. And eBay is big for us. So again, Etsy, $45, 25 cents paid. On to the next one. He's fantastic. And this next plushie is H&M Home Beige Giraffe Lovey. Has so nice. It's very soft, and it is new tag, which likely helped the price on this one. It did resell for $22.49. Originally, it looks like it might have been $5.99. So why that is? H&M Home is very collectible. If you didn't know, there is a specific group of people out there that are chasing these. We got a lot of lowball offers for this just recently, and it's okay to hold your ground for certain items. Obviously, you don't want to beat people too much, but if it has value in your item and you believed in that value and you want to be very intentional with your pricing, this is just one of those cautionary tales. Like, it's okay to hold your ground and make a little bit of money and profit. That's what we're actually after at the end of the day. Although I am very intentional about my kindness as well. So it's always a constant give and take there. And I think that comes across in my videos, hopefully. So anyways, this one's off to its new home. Someone's going to enjoy it for what it is. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so we are back with Baby Gunned Spunky. And this one sold for $27 in 1 month on eBay. And I think this is the one the buyer asked me if the sound was working. A different buyer on a different platform. And actually, it was listed less on that platform, but it did sell on eBay for more. So it might have been a different buyer, but yep, he works. Or, yeah, so this one's off to its new home, $27 on eBay in 1 month. And I believe that is maybe, I think there might be a few more. Let me double check for you guys. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, we got a few more to go. I thought we were done. Okay, just keep on coming, y'all. I'm going to take my ancient artifact here, and I'm going to keep on going. Okay, we are back with the next one. Elf Pet's Arctic Fox tradition. And basically, it's Elf Pet for the Elf on the Shelf storyline or book series. And $22.50 in 5 months and sold on eBay. Goes to show you that Christmas can sell all year long. We're not too far removed from it, but we do sell it throughout the year. So I want to just encourage you to get your items, even if they're not in season, up. If they're just sitting there staring you down, don't be intimidated. Get them listed. They will sell. On to the next one. Okay, we sold another one. Spark Create Imagine Lamb Rattle plush. We just actually sold one a few days ago. That video hasn't dropped yet, but actually, it might be part of this video. I think this was the second one that sold. I'm starting to lose track because we have quite a few of these, and they do sell them. They do sell all the time. So this one sold for, looks like $10.09 in 6 months on eBay. They don't sell for a whole lot, but if you add all that up over time, all the little ones add up, and it makes a world of difference. And these are harder to find for some folks. There's different series. They don't always come out with them, and they're normally seasonal. So we'll go ahead and get this guy out to his new home, and we'll get on to the next. Stay. This next one was not a bad sale on eBay. It was $50.34. It sold for. It's a Disney Pixar Bugs Life plush set. Has a bunch of characters in here. Looks like maybe Dot, Hopper, Flick. Flick is huge. Does not have his tag buyer. Didn't seem to mind. It's getting harder to find this stuff, quite honestly. They didn't make a lot of it that I can tell. At least we're not finding it in our areas. And if you are, pick it up. It's definitely sought after. We have a buyer on Whatnot that specifically looks for insects of any kind in plush. So they are, I forget the name of the word for a person that actually, that's their hobby. So I'll try to put it here if I can find that. So yeah, there's a buyer for everything. And this one specifically, Disney Pixar. Okay, I feel like a broken record, and we've already done a reel with this like last week, but I'm going to do another one. Here we go. This is Disney Zootopia. The tag is a little bit messed up, but the buyer didn't mind. This one sold for $25.92 in 6 months on Mercari, so it's been listed for a while, right? Why did it sell now? Two things. One, we did inventory, re-stimulated the algorithm, bumped up the eyes on it, went into the platforms, kind of sat between 5 different ones. Buyer comes along on Mercari, just saw the movie maybe, still on his mind. Can't live without it, and there you go. That's how you make that money. All right. I can't encourage you enough to get cross listing. If you have a bunch of inventory, if you're up to 200, 250 items on eBay and you're looking to make that next move, check out our podcast, Launchpad Reseller Podcast on YouTube under Rocket City. Go ahead and check it out. Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern. We want to see you. I want to explain more about how you can level up your business in 2026. We'll catch you on that podcast. On to the next plushie sale. All right, another Snoopy heading out the door, and this one, again, Christmas. What can I say? It's almost the end of January, and here we are. Hallmark Christmas Snoopy with lights and candy canes. So it did have the tag. It's a little rough, but the buyer didn't seem to mind. He is off to his new home. Let's see. He sold for $19.08 in 6 months on eBay. What can I say about Snoopy? He is evergreen. Everybody loves Snoopy. Let's see this little guy dance. Get it, Snoopy. Go, Snoopy. Go, Snoopy. Go, Snoopy. All right, on to the next one. Alrighty, we are back with TY Twitcher. And let's see if we can find this guy. He was in 207, so I think he got mixed up in the mix here because we have multiples of him. Allegedly, we have one in 305 and 207. So I chose 207, but here we are. TY Twitcher, 2001 classic Beanie Buddy and tie-dye, $27 on Etsy. Again, beanie trending. Also, 34% of the last 30 days search engine optimization for eBay was, guess what? Bears. If you said bears, you would be correct. So, beanie, bear. I mean, I'm a data scientist. That's what I do for a living. I'm a part-time reseller that helps my wife manage the chaos that is her life as a full-time reseller. And also, I love tech. So listen to the sound of my voice and do the things that I say, and you will be as successful, if not more so, than we are. We want to thank you for watching. And if you're not liking and subscribing, please, it would definitely, certainly help us out and also keep you informed on what's coming next in reselling. Don't forget to check out Launchpad, the reseller podcast that is hosted by Rocket City Reseller. We do that with Tennessee Treasures and also She Shed 244. Tennessee Treasures is on YouTube. If you want to check out her content, I'll put a link here. And She Shed 244, you can catch her on Whatnot. And I'll try to put a link here for her. They host the podcast, so there's a wealth of information that's coming out of there. We're going to have some really big names coming on the podcast soon. So be on the lookout for that. So February is going to be absolute fire. You're not going to want to miss it. So go ahead and check that out. Love you guys. We appreciate all the likes, subscribes, the viewership, and we'll catch you on the next one. And remember, if you can't be good at it. Until next time.